Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Susan Darling, and I do have a author page in Facebook. It's called Author Sue Darling. I've got a lot of written work there and a few videos. So if you want to watch that, it's Facebook Author Sue Darling. Okay, now I was told to post this. I was thinking of not bothering with videos, but I think this one God told me to post it. Before I started, he has let other people know that this is the most evil time in history, right? And it's going to be even worse as time gets further on. But it also going to people who serve God, who really give themselves up to God, they'll be increasing in holiness, right? So it's good and bad growing up. And one of the things is, if it's going to be the worst time in history, we know full well, all through history, women have been the second-class citizens. Well, what God's basically telling me is that Satan wants to take all women's rights off again. So we are going to be treated even worse than any time in history. So that's a warning that we have to be close to God and ready to fight through prayer. Through believing in Jesus Christ can do all things, and he does love every person equally. He doesn't favor one sex over another. We are all important in the eyes of God. Our work, our service is just as important as the opposite sex. One sex isn't more important than another. That's what I'm trying to get through. Now, this is what I said to God. My wonderful, powerful God, I pray the Sacred Heart of Jesus prayer to liberate women from men's domination, and that we feel your love, peace and protection and your covering, because we will really need. Men can be so cruel. We know full well rape that's how they fight a lot of times, to keep women down. Okay, this is what God said. What upsets you most? I am not being honoured in women's role, and therefore take the blame when anything goes wrong. Your economy largely depends on the male, they say. And this is almost true of their wives putting up with the mortgage as well as men. But they don't see it that way, even them. But I notice these things well in advance of the economy collapse. By far, women in the workforce are better off than stay-home mums, putting up with children all day long, while their husband has a rest from them unnoticed of them, as well as their wives putting up with wives who work, telling them stay-home mums are not pulling their weight, and giving them a guilty conscience whether or not to go to work and leave their baby for someone else to mind. I want you to post this before the upheaval starts in every country. Women will be basically attacked all over the world. Because they're going to rob our rights off. That's the bad ones. And God's told me that we're not to look at men to protect us or back us up, because we're going to be braver than them. Men that are good, who really do care about women's rights, they won't back us up so much, because they'll be worried about their wives' protection, what's going to happen to their wives. And there's going to be men that will pretend they're protecting us, but their wives are silenced because they just want to look good. It's going to be God who protects us. And one thing he said to me a long time ago, the suffragettes, why they failed was because they went about it with their own strength. And we can't win a battle by our own strength. We've got to rely on God. And it's him who is going to win for us. We have to do our bit, of course, but it's by relying on God's strength and God's power that will we win. And I was told a long time ago that 1,000 years of peace, the men in those days will be different from what we are experiencing in our era. They will respect women, and women and men will be equal. So that's good news, but it's not going to be happening unless we do our bit, and that is relying on God, and we will have to fight by the power of God, through prayer, through praising, through worshipping God and speaking out. Okay, I wish I had good news, but that is all I can offer today. Okay, goodbye. See you.